Hey Aquarius, happy October. Thank you for joining me. If we haven't met before, I'm Madeline, and if you're back, hi. Okay, so before we get into your cards, I want to tell you about the channeled message that I received from Spirit. You know, sit here and meditate, do some shuffling and stuff like that before we get started. Connect with, just plug it in. And what Spirit came through with was something really beautiful and made a lot of sense to me. They took me basically inside of, if you've ever seen photographs, and if you haven't, do yourself a favor and Google it, even as we speak. Open that tab, go for it, Aquarius. Celebrate that ADHD. It's one of your superpowers, okay? But they were showing me this vision, basically, hi Katie, of those giant crystal caves, okay, where things like, natural quartz and stuff like that just like grow to these incredible like stories high. And something about these caves, like these crystals need really specific conditions to grow in. And for a human to go into those caves and see that wonder and have access to those precious minerals, they have to dress very specifically. They have to only stay in there a certain amount of time. Like they have to take a lot of precautions, and it's kind of like, you can't live on the moon. You got to put on your spacesuit. You're not like a natural there, right? But you being an Aquarius, you are kind of an alien, and you have access to these beautiful, it might as well be space because it doesn't look like fucking walking around on Earth when you walk into these giant crystal caves. But what they're telling me, and some of you might have prominent Capricorn placements because it's kind of a similar vibe to the quote they gave me for Capricorns this month, which was I'm gonna paraphrase here, but this is a Bruce Lee quote: "Knowing is not enough, we must do. Willing is not enough, we must apply." So you kind of have to be down to go into your crystal cave, gather the bits that you want to bring into the world, and then get out. You can't live there, Aquarius. So it's kind of like, we celebrate your alien heritage, but you are only part alien and you came down here to live on Earth. And we need you to bring these precious resources that only you have access to out here to the world. And some of you might be like hoarding them a little bit or hanging out in the cave and like, man, it's hot in there. Like, come on out, show us what you got. That's what I'm hearing. Okay? Okay. So let's get into it now and see how your cards rhyme with this message or not. Did we not just say, like, it's too hot in there? It's too hot! 10 of Wands. It's too talented. It's too beautiful in there. We can't stay forever. Okay. Okay. Aquarius, don't worry. We got this. Wow. Yeah, some of you guys definitely have like Capricorn or maybe even some Sagittarius placements. Shout out in the comments below if you do. Be very curious to see where the overlap is in this. Wow. Whew. That's a good wow. Sorry. I know it feels like I'm holding out on you. I'm right about to pop that picture up of your cards. Sound effects will be explained. Wow. Let me say, first of all, looking good, Aquarius. You might be starting off with that 10 of Wands at the center, that feeling of stress, that feeling of like, oh my God, this is all a bit too much. But Spirit wants to make a distinction here. Yes, it is too much. And yes, you do need to go a little easier on yourself. 10 of Wands at the center, and here's Temperance in the position of where you find yourself. Getting a lot of messages, probably internal and external. Internal. And external, that it's time to slow down. It's time to heal. It's time to bring a little calm, a little order to things. Because you got actually two cards of a little bit of like overwhelm at the center. Some of you Aquarians, when I see the 7 of Cups, there are certain Aquarians in my life that I think of very specifically. Mwah, love you, Lucy, by the way. The 7 of Cups is very appropriate for an Aquarius because it's like you have this incredible vision, but it could go any which way. Like, they kind of made a joke about ADHD earlier, and now I can kind of see why they were like, and I'm not like making light of it. It's like, again, it's one of your superpowers. Lots of Aquarians I know, like their mind just moves so fast and so far so fast. It's like fucking light speed. But that can be a superpower. Okay. Spirit has just brought to mind an analogy I've used once before in one of those videos I did with my Aquarian sister Lucy. So this is appropriate. I can feel like this is why they're bringing it up. This is about your superpowers. They're bringing up the Ninja Turtles. Bear with me. Hear me out here. They're talking about the fact that, like, the thing that might hurt you, ADHD, or in the Ninja Turtles example, when they were just regular little baby turtles, they accidentally walked into some radioactive ooze, right? And because of this highly fucking toxic chemical they waded into, they became fucking super, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And, they're sentient. They somehow, know martial arts or whatever. We don't need to worry about the deep lore of the Ninja Turtles as much as that touches my heart. My point is, the thing that made them a little crazy, the thing that made them a little weird, is what's actually their ultimate gift. And Spirit is saying that about some of you. The way that you think, when harnessed, is an amazing superpower, but if kind of in its raw state, might be a little bit troublesome, might be a little bit problematic. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to drink the radioactive ooze, because that might have a very different reaction. In other words, don't internalize this about yourself. You can be anything you want to be. You're an Aquarius. You're the water bearer. You're the star. You're ahead of the curve. Okay? I want to tell you that you've been doing a pretty good job, as much as you might be feeling a little overloaded, a little overwhelmed. A lot of you have released some baggage and you're taking a chance, a big chance this month that can bring you a lot closer to a feeling of being healed and to, like, even I'm going to go as far to say, like, a feeling of, like, whoo, I didn't even know, like, I could get what I wanted, like, to this degree that it almost feels like a dream come true. And I don't say that lightly, Aquarius. Like, I'm not here to dangle carrots in front of people. That's not what Spirit is here for either. So about your ADHD superpower. And for some of you, it's not literally that you have, like, ADD or ADHD. It's that you have a lot of gifts and a lot of talents and a lot of dreams, a lot of things that you want, and they're on the table. It's there for you, and I'm going to do, spoiler alert, in your future is, like I said, that card for wish fulfillment. And it's pretty much a direct fucking, like, like one leads to the other. This lady who is offering this girl all these different opportunities, this, it's the goddess Aphrodite in this particular deck that is offering, like, well, which one of these cups would you like? And in the missing 8 of Cups card that we don't have here, but we did have in the Capricorn reading, so again, if any of you have Capricorn placements, I would check that out. That 8 of Cups is the leap of faith. The in-between card that we're missing here is leaving behind, like, okay, you know what? This, and this was not satisfying me anymore, so I'm going to take a chance and I'm going to, like, go towards something that is maybe completely different, or maybe I'm going to put my eggs in this basket. You know what I mean? I'm going to pick one of these cups instead of trying to scatter my energy and my ideas into these 7 different things. I'm going to say my focus this month is getting the kind of home that I want, or having the kind of relationship that I want, or getting the kind of job that I want, or making steps, getting toward that one way or another. Even if it's not like I'm literally going to have it by the end of October, I'm going to be closer to it by the end of October. And TBH, I feel like some of you are going to have it by the end of October because these cards are pretty fucking phenomenal. Wish fulfillment, but you got to make a choice and you got to narrow it down. Okay, narrow it down. Between that 10 of Wands and the 7 of Cups, is like you got a lot on your plate right now, and it will benefit you to, like, kind of put the blinders on only when they're necessary. And again, I wouldn't tell, like, for example, no shade to Tauruses, but, like, I wouldn't tell a Taurus to put the blinders on. But you, Aquarius, because your vision is so wide and so long, like, for you guys, sometimes it does benefit you to be like, okay, yes, I could put my focus on all these different things and places and people and projects, but this is my priority right now. This is what I want. This is what would make me really, really happy if I could get this one thing into, like, to the place where I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, when you make the load a little gentler and easier on yourself, like, okay, so this month my focus is going to be my mental and physical health, or it's going to be, like they said, getting the home that I want, or getting my relationship closer to a place that I like. Going easy and gentle and moderate That's going to serve you far, far, far more than the 10 of Wands. Go, 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 go. Just do, 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 do. Like, no, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. So there is somebody around you, King of Cups. This is somebody deeply compassionate, deeply wise, someone really helpful. This person is like a therapist. They might be literally like a therapist or counselor to you, or they could just be someone very close to you that really knows how to handle your feelings and like talk you through things, help you sort things out. And Spirit is using that phrase very specifically. So this person might be somebody that could be very helpful in doing this. Well, which one of these cups do you think I should pick? Like, which one is going to ultimately be the one that makes me feel nourished? That person can help you sort it out. That person might also be able to help you. And it's not that they know anything you don't. It's that they can help you see things from like a different perspective. Because you have the Hermit at the bottom of your reading saying, yes, like a considerable amount of self-inventory and listening to yourself, trusting your own vision, trusting your own counsel is here. But this person can be invaluable in helping you get in better touch with like your feelings, because you know you're an air sign, and this is funny, but Spirit just used like the pun, like, you know, we call you the water bearer, but that's because sometimes you're like, oh God, I have to bear this right now that this person is like having all these emotions. Like, they're saying it in a funny way, Aquarius, they love you. Let this person help you bear the load. Let this person help you be like, well, I've noticed that when you put your water in this cup, you usually end up unsatisfied. Or like there seems to be a hole in the bottom of that cup, because every time you do that, you end up feeling like, I was left with nothing. So maybe we want to invest in this cup over here, because this you have control over. This is definitely going to like last or go somewhere good or nourish you. You know what I'm saying? They might be like, screw that person you've been talking to, but what about like your nutrition? That's something that you can control, and we can get your health back on point, and then, you know, everything else that you want to do is going to fall into place. These are just examples they're giving me, Aquarius. Like, these are gonna, it's a general reading, so it's different things for different people, but all of you have this overarching energy of it's time to take things a little bit easier, and there is somebody around you who is deeply compassionate, and you think of them as deeply compassionate, deeply wise, where you're maybe uncharacteristically willing to kind of like open your heart and be like, okay, I'm gonna let you see parts of myself that maybe I don't share with everybody. And that is leading to some pretty incredible wish fulfillment. It's also leading to some pretty incredible overcoming of obstacles. I'm taking on this challenge. This is what I want. I'm willing to take my licks. I'm willing to like do what it takes to get out of the current situation, 10 of Wands, where I'm feeling overwhelmed and fucking done. I'm willing to make those changes, and I can make them gently. You know, the Chariot is about big action and big movement, and some of you it might be literal movement, and I keep feeling that for some of you, like I said, it's about finding like a new destination or a new home, because the key and conclusion to your reading is the Four of Wands. Happy home, happy family, like for some of you, happy marriage, happy partnership, especially in combination with that Nine of Cups. Some of you might be making a commitment this month, and if perhaps for some of you the challenge is in walking away from a commitment, remember that saying no to something can be a commitment to yourself. So don't feel pushed in any direction that your intuition does not resonate with. Your free will and your intuition are everything. This is guidance from Spirit, but above all, I know that you got to trust yourself, Aquarius. But your ships are coming in. I feel like by the end of the month, you're feeling quite proud of yourself, and it feels very like justifiably proud. It feels like you feel, they keep using this, like it feels like you feel at home. And I feel like that's first within yourself, and then, you know, as within, so without. And the more I feel in accord with myself, the more I feel in resonance with myself. And I want to make a distinction here. That means, Aquarius, that if I'm sad, I let myself be sad. I'm in accord, I'm in agreement with myself. I'm not going to tell myself, you shouldn't be sad right now. You shouldn't be angry right now. What are you pissed about? Like, what are you sad about? You have everything going for you. Why? You're not allowed to be, that's not good for me. I need to process this shit. If I feel a little depressed, I need to be able to be like, I feel a little depressed, or I feel a little tired, or whatever. Like, I'm not going to push through. I'm not going to burn the candle at both ends. I'm not going to burn myself the fuck out. Gentle, easy, meditative, peace and quiet is very important right now. Some of you might be like, Some of you might be going to some lengths to shed baggage, get a little alone, or at least like quiet time. I'm gonna say again, meditation. Meditation could be really fucking great for you, but if you don't want to, you know, sit down and cross the arms and do the Om thing, that's not the only way to meditate. I would say try a way that works for you, but if you're not down to meditate, I totally get it. You can do another kind of self-inventory, like journaling, like getting together with this King of Cups and sorting out and really kind of arranging your thoughts and emotions. And I just say arranging in the sense of like, maybe you literally write it down. Same idea with journaling, where it's like, so that I don't forget that I had these epiphanies and that I came to these conclusions, so that I actually can integrate this into my life in a way that feels gentle temperance and natural and aligned with myself. Then I get to where I want to go. Chariot. Then I overcome this challenge and I realize that like this challenge was serving my growth. Because that's like the ultimate victory, and that's what Spirit is saying, is like they're really giving me that feeling of you enjoy the win more when you sweated and grunted and maybe even like wondered if you could do it. Then when you do it, it's like, fuck yeah. Because if we're like, I can do this, like this is funny. But for those of you that are aware of this is like, Spirit is funny. And, we're living in modern times, so it's not so much a burning bush. Like, Spirit will use whatever media or whatever way of getting in contact and showing us something, like a picture's worth 1,000 words, whatever symbol. And they're showing me an episode of Arrested Development. And there's specifically an episode where one of the main characters is told like, hey, join me for like a father-son marathon. And so he's training for this marathon like hard, because it's like, damn, this is in 3 weeks or something, so I really have to like, I run and weightlift, like it's a triathlon, so it's like there's gonna be a lot involved. And then he shows up for the triathlon, he's like exhausted, he has like run himself into the ground training for this thing, and he shows up, and then there's like, it's like a child's triathlon. There's like a kiddie pool and like a fucking hula hoop, or like, carry the egg in the spoon kind of thing. So there's a little bit of like, you don't have to go hard. Go gentle. Go gentle. I think this isn't going to be as hard as you think it is. But I also think like, because, the amount which it is difficult is only going to increase the satisfaction that you feel when you get through it. It might not be a kiddie pool. There's a little more challenge than that, but don't run yourself into the ground getting ready to do it, because you gotta have still energy for the doing. So be gentle, be kind, get in resonance and accord with yourself. If you need that King of Cups to come in and help you see yourself a little more clearly, see how you're feeling a little more clearly, tap them. They're a great ally. Four of Wands, your community, your friends, your people, your family, they are supporting you this month. And I feel like you end up in a place where you feel on top. Wish is coming true. I made the right choice, is what Spirit just said. And you'll make that right choice from a place of ease and deep understanding of yourself and your desires and your motivations. Looks pretty good. I like it, Aquarius. How do you feel about it? Let me know. Questions, comments, stories. I love those. I appreciate you, Aquarius, and I really hope that this is helpful for you and helps you have the best October possible. Looks pretty damn good, if a little stressful at first. I hope you can make the best of it. I think you can. Thanks for being here, Aquarius. If I don't see you before then I hope I see you in next month's reading. Bye, Aquarius.